our next presenter, Dan Lads. I first met Dan at a Huddersfield BettaKultcha event. And to be fair, he was already raging against the world, but I like to think that we've encouraged him and helped him along his way. So he's going to, and we've offered him this comfortable space for him to express his ideas and opinions, and he's going to talk about an issue that I'm actually involved with, because a line was drawn in the sand and we decided to do something about it. So I won't preempt him too much. I'll let Dan explain what's going on and what the issue is all about. So let's give a big round of applause for Dan Lads.
Hello? Yeah. Hey, I'm going to talk about donuts. I could do a presentation about how much I love donuts. I could actually talk for 5 minutes about that. So let's get out of the way. I do like them, but I'm not going to talk about how much I love them and their sticky, sweet, chewy goodness today. But one place I don't think they're appropriate for is schools. Because there's been a lot of work, especially over the last 10 years, to try and improve the school diet. And while a pudding here and there isn't all that bad, problem we have, the picture is unrelated, is that a major US donut company has started basically pushing its donuts to school children. And this makes me unhappy. Basically the way the scheme works is that the schools can buy donuts in bulk and then sell them at a profit to children for charity. And there's a couple of problems with that, mainly to do with corporate influence and junk food. But the main problem is the emotional blackmail, the old puppy eyes, the fact that basically what they're saying is, if you don't buy these donuts, you're a horrible Scrooge who hates charity. And the other problem is the endorsement. Schools and teachers are all in positions of trust. They are trusted by children to tell them things which are unbiased, fair and true. And when they endorse brands, that means that they're carrying that trust and using that trust to promote something which isn't neutral at all. And the fact is that there is already far, far, far too much branding that children encounter on a daily basis, from the cereal box in their morning to the TV they watch. It might just perhaps be one donut or one box of donuts, but it's still a push in the wrong direction, and we need every single bit of help we can to get children's diets going in the right direction. The situation is actually far worse in the USA. There are actually schools in the USA where there are Subways and McDonald's on school campuses, not just near schools, but actually in schools. And there's a quote here I've got from a school food administrator that says, "I could offer a similar quality hamburger or better, but it wouldn't increase my lunch count." So they're saying that even if the school produced the same quality of food themselves, it wouldn't make a difference. By high school age, children are already going for big brands. The other thing to mention is it's not really the fat. Not that fat is brilliant, but this all comes back to a problem that, especially from sort of the 50s and 60s, the classical diet pyramid looked like that, and the problem is that we never constrained the bottom end at all. So we have a bunch of low-fat food, but the problem is that children are eating now as much carbohydrates as they want. Now, I'm not saying we should put kids on the Atkins diet, but perhaps some limitation on the amount of carbohydrates that includes sugar would be pertinent. The thing about sugar is that we are hardwired to love it. We come from an environment where human beings, their major risk was starvation, not eating too much. So when our bodies latch hold of sugar, A, they make us really love it, and B, they turn it straight to fat and save it for later. And you can see that the levels of severe overweightness in children has gone up significantly and has continued to do so. The other thing about sugar is it does tend to be psychologically addictive. It's not physically addictive like heroin or anything like that, but it is psychologically addictive because it's so good. It's easy to develop psychological dependence. There's a study done with cows, and they found that when they were given sugar alongside their normal food, they just gave up on their normal food and ate sugar constantly. So what can you do about it? Well, please write to teachers, schools, anyone who will listen. And just if the teachers don't listen, write to governors, try and get them to promise to you that they won't allow the idea of some for charity to subvert their diet standards. The other thing is, there are plenty of good local bakers in Yorkshire. Why would you want to buy some crappy mass-produced product when you could buy Yorkshire cakes? So do talk to other people. Try and persuade them. Talk to us. We want to know if any other schools are carrying on with this program in the area. And yeah, if you do not have a child yourself, just a picture of a horse. If you don't have a child yourself, please talk to one of those child-bearing units we call parents. And yeah, for a combination of traditional Irish folk dance and your favourite 50 Cent record with the homophobic lyrics replaced with witty slogans about localism and avoiding donuts in schools, convince them.
Yeah, right on. Now that actually stemmed from an incident with my child. She brought home this ticket, and this is a school that she attends, right? That's got a Healthy Schools logo on top of the letterhead, and there was this charity event, eating donuts.